Happy Friday, you guys. I missed y'all so much. So listen, if you've been on my Instagram, you know that this summer I'm gonna take care of you guys to make sure that when you go over to these people country, y'all don't go out here and embarrass us. Y'all don't embarrass your family, and y'all don't embarrass yourselves, because it has happened to me. And I want to make sure you guys don't make any mistakes. At the end of this video, I have a really good juicy goodie for you, so make sure you stay tuned. So let's get started. So if you're new to my channel, hey boo, I am the Travel Hottie. I am all things travel, and my goal is to get people of color across the world and inspire people to travel, whether it's to meet your love of your life or to party. We want you to see. One thing I realized growing up as a really small girl, I thought the whole world was white, and then you had people of color, but we were real tiny. It wasn't that much of us until I traveled the world and realized the world is really brown. It's full of people that look like me and look like some of you. And I want you guys to get that experience of going to different countries and being the majority, going to different countries and seeing how people look. Even going to some of the whitest countries you think are super white, and then realizing that it's so many brown people that make up for 90-something% of the population. So it goes without saying, and if you watch my previous videos, you know that I am big on research. Research the places that you're going to, because you need to know the laws, customs, and traditions. You also don't want to go to a heavily religious country and dress slutty. These are things that you might not think are important, but they really are. And we don't want to travel with the I'm an American mentality, because over here in the West, we do things so different. We're liberal. People can dress how they want to dress, and they're free to express themselves through fashion. It's not like that in other countries. So make sure you do your research on these things, because what won't offend you might offend a lot of people. And you don't want to get locked up abroad. You don't want to be targeted. You don't want your safety in jeopardy. So do your research, and do your research on why people in this particular country have these customs and traditions. It could be passed down from generations. It could be a rite of passage. It could be so many things. So just try to understand why they do what they do. Number 2, dress appropriately. Now, if you're like me, you know, I like to look good. I like to wear my dress. I like to wear my short dresses. I like to have my legs out. I love showing cleavage, but I'm one to always show my legs. You might see some of my thighs, because I love my legs and my thighs. Let me tell you a quick story. Pack some clothes to go to Nigeria. If you look, I have my traveling to Nigeria videos. And another thing, you guys, I will be traveling to Nigeria this year to give you guys a real travel vlog. I went during COVID, couldn't get as much footage because they were strict over there. Nonetheless, I packed so many cute clothes to go to Nigeria, thinking like, I'm gonna be out here looking like T.Y. Savage. I'm gonna be looking sexy. Then when I got there, my friends was like, where you going? And I'm like, we about to go to the bar. Let's go to the lounge. And they're like, you can't wear that. And I'm thinking like, come on, you guys, we're in the, what do you mean I can't wear this? And they were letting me know that, you know, in Nigeria, you have people that are Muslim and you have people that are Christians. Nigerians are heavily, deeply rooted in their religion. So therefore, you don't want to walk around showing all your breasts and your back and all these things looking like an ashawo. You want to make sure that you're dressed modestly. You don't want to be flashy with jewelry, expensive everything, because then you look like a wealthy foreigner even if you're not. Because you could go to a different country and be rich over there but kind of be barely making it in the States. Nigeria is a prime example, because USD to Naira is very strong. So therefore, make sure that you are dressing appropriately, especially if you're a woman. You don't want to be targeted. You don't want to be catcalled. You don't want to be harassed, and you don't want to be followed. And I have friends that travel to Nigeria dressed extremely sexy, and they were recording themselves, and like kids were like kind of running after them trying to get her attention. And I'm like, girl, That's dangerous. So have security, or just dress very modestly, and it's a way you can do it. You don't have to dress like a mother or a grandma or the lady of a deaconess. You can dress sexy and cute like this. I have on this Shein dress. You guys can't really see it, but it's short, but it's covering my breasts. Now, would I wear this to Nigeria? Probably, cause look, y'all gonna know I'm from America, and see, look at that. I can't be doing that. Learn some basic phrases and how to address people. Here in the United States, we are very liberal with our language, and depending on what region you're from, whether you're from the north, south, east, or west, we all speak differently, and we all have different kind of mannerism. For example, of course, to me, and I've traveled, this is my opinion, up north, people are a little bit like rough and rude. And not to say that's everybody, but I'm from the south, so you know how we are. Good morning, good evening, how are you? Yes ma'am, no ma'am, yes sir, no sir, excuse me, I apologize. That's what we do, and we do that to strangers. If you're from the south, I'm talking about the deep rooted south, and you come from black family, you know, when you walk into somebody's house, you say good evening. When you see elders walking by, you say good evening, good morning, how are you? That's rude if you don't speak. That's very rude. Even if you go to other countries. I went to Dominican Republic about a month ago, and I walked up through customs, and I just gave the lady my passport. I didn't even say like buen dia, buenos dias. I didn't say anything, and she was looking at me like, you blue passport. People take this so serious. Learn basic phrases. Not only just learning basic phrases, learn how to address adults. You know, in Spanish they have formal and informal. Don't be like, let me tell you guys something so embarrassing. I was at the airport, and someone asked me a question, and it was someone from Nigeria, and I'm still like super high off my trip from Nigeria. I'm learning my pidgin. So he's like, oh, you went to Nigeria? I'm like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. I know. And I'm learning pidgin, and I was like, you know, how far now? How you day? And this man looked at me like, you. And honestly, this man was old enough to be like maybe my dad or my grandpa. And immediately I knew, like, maybe I shouldn't have said that. So I know that people that I know from Nigeria tells me that depending on your tribe, and I think Yoruba, if you see an elder, you're supposed to prostrate. Here, if you do that, they're looking at you like, what the heck is wrong with you? So make sure you do that. Some countries, you know, if you go down the street, you don't say something to somebody like good morning, good evening, they're like, whatever. But in other countries, if you do that, that's a huge sign of disrespect. Some people confront you. Some people, what's wrong now? I'm telling you. We went to this part of the old colonial where people of color would go worship. It was a real church. It was open for people. And what I was wearing, I had on like a leopard, I believe I had on like a leopard dress. You know, little cleavage showing just a little bit. Because see, in DR, you can dress like that. You can dress sexy. The women there are sexy. You can do that. What I would wear in DR, I would never wear to like Saudi Arabia, Syria, Jesus no. And I made sure that when we were entering that church, I covered myself. I made sure my cleavage was covered. Even my hair, make sure my hair at least covered my shoulder. And be very respectable. No loud talking, no cursing, I don't know anything. Because this is sacred for people. And you want to make sure that you're respecting that. That's like someone coming to your house, and if you're Christian, you have the Bible. They're sitting there, alcoholic beverage on it, using it as a coaster. What I'm doing. And lastly, make sure that you appreciate the differences and just ask someone. I have had some embarrassing moments when I was learning and getting exposed to other people's culture. Things that make me cringe now, but I've learned from it, and a mistake is something you make only once. If you do it again, for the most part, you're a habitual offender. Except if you're trying to learn like a language. Other than that, ask someone, when you're talking to the locals and they see that you're not from where they're from and you're interested in their culture, they are so excited to teach you. They will show you the ropes and everything. So just be open to it, you guys. If you made it to the last portion of this video, the surprise that I have for you is number 1. I told you already that I'm having a travel vlog coming out. Number 2, I will be going to Ghana. So you know I'm going to document the visa process so we can go there, because rumor has it that if you can show some ancestry that you got some Ghanaian in you, you can get a passport. And baby, I want that. And then lastly, I have 2 amazing ebooks. My Traveling to Nigeria, if you're trying to get your visa under 30 days, you can download my ebook. It's the new improved version. And then number 2, if you're like me, and you know, baby, this is a season where men cut a check for absolutely no reason, and you want to travel the world, but you don't want to pay, and that's okay. You can most definitely download my ebook, and it's only $10 for a limited time, you guys, where I'm showing you how to get flued out. Not only how to get flued out, free apps where you can do background checks on people, how to get flued out the proper way, and not only that, where do you find these men that like to fly you out? And I will pay. I got you covered. So check why am I forgetting? Because I guess I'm running out of time. Check the description box. I got everything for you guys. Bye. See you later. When to be honest and respectable and telling someone, you know, this dish looks really nice, but I'm not too crazy about it.